fishing. People, when you're in the mood, let's go fishing. Well, it's just me and you. Head on down to the fishing hole. Grab your hat, get your pole. Let's go fishing when you're in the mood.
Canadian Sport Fishing has been brought to you in part by Rapala, premium fishing gear crafted from experience. Yamaha, conquer outdoors. Dickies, quality workwear since 1922. Northeastern Ontario, undeniably big, unbelievably close.
Living in the northern part of North America, we have so many different fish species we can angle for. We can fish for them close to urban centers, or we can drive hundreds of miles away and find wilderness lakes. Every year, I take my truck, my boat, and my 2 pups, and we head up, sometimes 10-hour drive away from southern Ontario to enjoy some magnificent wilderness fishing.
Oh, here we go. Here we go, Italo.
All right, JR. You know, we have some pretty challenging fishing conditions. You can see it's pretty overcast out. Okay, let me get the net. That's a good size one, JR.
Yeah, that's decent.
Okay, JR, see if you can lift him up a little bit. All right, first fish on a crankbait. Good size. Look at how dark this walleye is. Yeah, JR, good job. He's all snarled up in the line, and that's okay. We're here at Ritchie's end of trail, and we're getting soaked. High five. So look, I'm gonna just take a quick measurement because I know they've got a slot limit. Not that we want to keep this guy. He is almost 20 inches long. So it's a really nice walleye. I'm not gonna hold him out of the water too long because we're gonna be releasing it. Here you can keep 3 fish that are under 18 inches and 1 over. But when you get fish that size, you wanna release them. What a gorgeous walleye. Can you believe how nice and gold they are?
That's
JR?
beautiful. Yeah, very nice color.
This is that chartreuse color with the dark back. So it's ideal when it's overcast like this. The only challenge that we have is we have a major cold front that's moved in. Yesterday, it was so hot and humid, it was in the 80s. Right now, soaking wet, it's probably in the 50s.
Oh, it feels like it. It feels
so
like
look,
it.
I'm gonna let you unsnarl that.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, while I cast a jig out there. And if I holler, you grab the net, okay?
All right.
Okay. When it comes to remote wilderness fishing, anglers have a choice of hiring a float plane and being taken into a lake where they can stay at an outpost camp or cabins, or stay at a full operating lodge and use the boats that they have there and take food in with them if they want, or they can choose to drive. I don't mind driving and long road trips up to 10 hours or more because I can take my fully rigged boat with me, my 2 pups, and we can still find some awesome wilderness lakes to catch fish. JR. You know what, JR, you are the man. I can tell you fished here before. Are you okay landing it? Here, show me how it's done with the net. Come on.
Absolutely.
Get the net out. Nice doré. Gorgeous fish. I like the way you did that. You did the pancake, tossing up in the air. Awesome. You know, I love it. One of my favorite ways to catch walleye is with a crankbait. Do you use many crankbaits?
You know, once in a while we'll use a crankbait.
Now, you know, earlier we're using a different crankbait. That's a smash shad. Bang. Notice it's a little smaller.
Yep.
I figured we should go a little bit smaller with that fish.
Yes.
So I think that's the ticket. And look at, this might not seem like a big one, but that's a nice little eater.
Yes.
You can see he's got nice fillets. But it's his lucky day because we're releasing most of the fish. We're gonna keep some for later, but these guys we're releasing. Watch. There he goes. Beautiful. Perfect. Well done, JR.
Perfect.
Okay, so if you don't, I know you're a bait fisherman, right? And that's part of what led to you developing the bait to go.
Yes.
What was the issue? I mean, people have used minnow pails for a long time.
Yes. It's just the bait to go was designed for portability and versatility. So it just makes things much more convenient. You don't really need to get up or displace yourself very much in the boat when you have bait to go, because you can have it right beside you because it has different mounting options.
Well, right now we're using artificials. I'm throwing a jig, you're throwing a crankbait because we got perfect conditions. By the way, walleye like low light because their eyes are very sensitive to daylight. okay. You're gonna handle it on your own?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I don't want to see how you get a hook out of your hand, okay?
No.
Okay. Actually, it doesn't have it swallowed too much. You should be okay. You got pliers right there. Actually, I gave you the long pliers. You got the pike pliers.
Yeah, we can use that.
You know, when you're fishing northern walleye lakes like this, if you find walleye, you can find pike because the pike actually feed on the walleye, and you'll get some of the biggest pike where you're walleye fishing. Okay, show me how it's done, JR. You got the long nose pliers. You got one hook. Wow, you did that great. You're going to put them in the net or just check them back?
I'm just going to put them in the net. And then
You know what we call those?
What do we call those?
Hammer handles.
Oh, yes.
You know why? It's about the length of a hammer. You know what? You're doing okay. I haven't had a hit on my jig, but that's okay. You know why? Because I'm a patient fisherman. You can see that we've got two canines in the boat with us. One is Mulligan, and the other one is River. River is Mulligan's stepsister. She's about 9 months old. And you can see they're as excited as, well, less excited than you and I, right? But they're good. They're great company in the boat.
Closed captioning is brought to you by MD Marine Insurance. Boat insurance made easy.
One of my favorite wilderness lakes to drive to are lakes that have healthy population of walleye. In these lakes, usually there's a lack of vegetation. They're more rock structure. There's a lot of deep water and shallow water structure like reefs, bars, and fishing along islands. And for the most part, you catch a lot of smaller walleye, and a trophy walleye might be about 20 inches to 25 inches. So I'm not after big fish. But the nice thing is that you can go out any time of day, and you can catch a limit of walleye that you can enjoy for a nice shore lunch. You know, we've got two presentations going. One is a crankbait that JR is casting, and I'm using one of these Lunker City. This is actually a shaker, but I've hit so many rocks just with a 1/4 ounce head that I've got like a blunt hook. So you see what I'm doing here? This is really important, especially for walleye, because they have harder mouths. Now you'll notice the way I'm sharpening this, I'm going not at the hook, I'm going away from it. So this sharpen actually has a nice groove in it. JR, I just marked the fish right under the boat. You can probably see I'm taking a screen grab.
Okay.
Because I do that for proof. Because a lot of times when I do the social media posts, I'll actually show the fish that I've caught. There's another fish.
Amazing how accurate they are.
Yeah, there's one here, one there.
Yeah.
The first one was bigger. Well, the last time I did that, I saw a fish, dropped it down, boom, it was a pike, right? Right off the bat. So yeah, do they help? Definitely. Be nice if this one was still around. You know, 25-inch walleye,
yes,
just for photos, and we let it go. Do people in Sudbury keep fish for eating?
Yeah, we do eat fish in Sudbury. It's actually
You ever eat
really
walleye?
good. Walleye, pike, we eat anything.
You know what? That's a good size to keep. He's not too big.
No, it's a nice
I think we can get some nice fillets off him. You know, you're doing pretty good with that smash shad.
Yes, it's been working out well.
I've
for
lost
me
some
today.
fish with the jig. I have yet to hook one. You know, I tell people, I like my guests to catch the fish first. Not necessarily the biggest. Look, another fish jumped over there.
Just jumped, exactly.
I think they're that's why you're getting them on the smash shad. I think they're suspended. Whatever they're feeding on is just below the surface. And here I am using a jig on the bottom. Yeah, that's a perfect keeping size. Because these remote lakes, even that you drive to, are further away from major urban centers, there's less pressure on the lake. And in many cases, there aren't necessarily campsites for people to spend days there. And there's very limited accommodation in the form of either a fishing lodge or an outpost camp. So the chances of catching a lot of fish really increases. You can use a variety of techniques. So if you like to troll, you can troll to catch your walleye. You can cast artificial lures, you can jig, you can use live bait. Usually all those methods produce fish because the fish haven't seen too many fishermen or fishing lures. Now what we've done, because we've got such good conditions, we've found a really nice, we haven't found it. Brian, the owner of the lodge, took us to one of his favorite spots. And we've thrown a marker out. So we got an orange marker there. And it was funny because earlier, River, our pup was barking at it, knowing it's not a natural thing to have an orange thing in the water. You are on a roll,
Decent
man.
fish, Italo. It's not a
Now,
bad
can you lift that in the boat? It's a nice walleye. Bet you it'll go 18, 19 inches. You're being wise using the net.
Not a bad size.
No, not at all. Well done. Hey, you took the hook out already. You're quick. Now, careful, they got teeth, you know that? Is he perfect eating size or what?
That is a perfect eating size.
Show the viewers how wide the back is. We call those shoulders. So we're gonna get a couple nice fillets off it.
Yep, that's a decent size eater.
Ritchie's End of Trail Lodge is an ideal drive-to remote fishing area where anglers can drive from the GTA in southern Ontario. It's about an 8-hour drive, and they can either take their boat or they can use one of the rental boats. They drive to a landing where the Ritchie staff picks them up and brings them back to the lodge. Ritchie's is located on a peninsula, and they offer 6 fully furnished cabins that has all the amenities of home. It's kind of like a rustic setting, which is kind of nice. I like to have the propane lamps, and I like to have the low light, you know, at night, where you're cooking up your fresh fish that you've caught. The location is very private, and it doesn't seem to matter where you fish on the lake. If you're using bait especially, you can catch fish almost anywhere. For this type of fishing, it's better to find a hole, not where the bottom comes up, like a shoal or a reef, but where it's an actual depression, that it's a little bit deeper. Got another little one on here. Now look at this. We're talking about this earlier, JR. Look at, I know you're not supposed to use a walleye for bait. Isn't that cute? If he falls off, oh, you know what? The walleye is going back. The pike is going in the live well. Perfect. You know, we're gonna get in yours. You know what? Put that one in the live well too. We're gonna go easy on the walleye. Now, you know, we mentioned earlier about using these bait-to-go dispensers. I don't know if you see this little thing that I have right here. It's so handy. I don't have to get my hands wet. I don't need a net to grab my fish. I can just grab them one at a time. So this is the system that JR invented, which I think is great. I'm gonna save a piece, and I'm gonna cut the skin, just like so. And we're gonna leave that on there for ID. Ritchie's is truly a classic Ontario wilderness getaway where you can drive to with your family and have a blast. Or if you like to fish with the boys, take all your stuff and have some serious fishing, even have a competition out on the lake. There's so many places to fish. You can catch fish to enjoy a shore lunch every day, and you'll have memories you'll have for a lifetime. I got a nice one on. Okay, JR, you can be my net man. That is a nice walleye. Look at JR.
Decent fish, decent fish.
Get him in the net. Good job. See, there's a nice walleye right here from Ritchie's End of Trail. They're so healthy here. Yeah, that fish will probably go about 22 inches. He's probably 3.5 pounds. These guys don't mess around. Look at these predatory teeth here, top and bottom. They're like fangs. So they're made to eat fish. What a beautiful walleye. Talk about the doré.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And that just tells you that there's no weeds here. It's all rocks.
Yep.
But these guys are so healthy. Look how wide those fillets are.
Absolutely.
But you know what? We're letting them go. Because we're keeping the smaller ones and we got the pike.
Yes.
JR, what a bonus, eh?
Yes. Nice
you know
fish.
what? Bait makes a big difference. Look at, is that a gorgeous fish or what? Beautiful release. I'm going to show you the way I hook these things. Go ahead, JR. Grab one. Yep. And I'm going to show you. It's a little bit different technique. I'm actually partial to smaller minnows than I am to larger minnows. So let me just grab one here. Now here's what I'm doing. What I'm doing is actually hooking it through the mouth. So I'm putting the jig head through the mouth, and I'm very carefully putting it out the gill here. Let me just show you. See how it's out the gill? I push the minnow right up to the jig head, and I rotate it a little bit, and then I put the hook right through the side. Now, see, the minnow's actually laying on his side. So the reason I'm doing that is so that you get the swimming action like this when I bounce it on the bottom. My guest on this week's show is JR. Good friend of mine. JR grew up in Northern Ontario. He likes fishing so much that he has his own float plane, and he's invited me many times to go into different lakes. But this time I invited him to come up to Ritchie's. JR loves to fish so much, he actually invented a bait system called Bait-to-Go that I've had the pleasure of fishing with JR in Florida and fishing offshore in like 70 feet of water and using cut squid, using shrimp on the flats. You can use Bait-to-Go with live minnows, leeches, crayfish, night crawlers, even insects like crickets. It's an ideal system because you can actually keep it in the water if you want the fish to stay fresh, or you can seal it and keep it anywhere in the boat. I like the fact that it has a little container inside and you don't have to even get your hands wet when you're getting your bait and applying it onto your hook. It's a really smart system that makes bait fishing very convenient. And when you fish some of these northern lakes, especially here at Ritchie's, if you use live bait, you cannot go wrong. Minnows is number 1, night crawlers number 2, leeches number 3. If you put one of those on your jig head and fish near the bottom, you'll probably get a walleye on within a few minutes. When you're fishing at Ritchie's, there's so many walleye that you can use a variety of techniques. The same lures and presentation that work in southern lakes for walleye will work here. What I would suggest is, if you're unfamiliar with the lake and you're starting early in the day, one of the best things you can do is troll with a small Rapala minnow-like lure, or your favorite crankbait, even a spoon or a spinner. Troll out from shorelines. Be careful that you're nowhere near rocks, because there's lots of rock structure on the lake that comes right to the surface or just below the surface. Once you hook 1 or 2 walleye by trolling, then stop and either drift or cast or anchor and try using jigs along the bottom in plastic grubs. We did really well using some of the Lunker City baits, or you can use live bait. Right. Oh, got off. Felt good. Oh. Ah, what have I got? Okay, look it. River, have you smelt a pike before? Here, do you want to smell what that smells like? Yummy, eh? Now look it, I've got this guy on an artificial minnow. He doesn't want to let it go. That's why he loves it so much. So I'm going to rig another one up in a minute. But you know, these guys are in here mixed with the walleye. So he's not big enough to eat. Obviously, he's a small pike. But sometimes when the pike move in, the walleye slow down. So I'm going to release him, number 1. I'm just going to toss him out. And because he ate my tail, so this is kind of a good tip, I'm going to get another one. And you can see I've got bags of them down here in different colors. So this is what this is. This is the Lunker City. They're actually called a finesse shad. You can see right here. So you'll be surprised how lively this thing looks once they drop it in the water. So watch. I'm just going to put it over the side. And if you look, does that look like a real minnow on there if I shake it? Can you see that? He's just kicking and swimming around like a real fish.
Hi, I'm Brian Drysdale, owner of Ritchie's End of Trail in Biscoe-Tacing, Ontario. Ritchie's is a drive-to fishing lodge located on a beautiful peninsula in northern Ontario. If you want to experience exceptional walleye, pike, and perch fishing in a rustic setting, Ritchie's End of Trail is the place for you. We offer beautiful, clean cabins for your friends and family, so come visit us for a true northern experience.
When it comes to walleye fishing, there's either holes that you fish or structure that comes up. Now, I'm fishing a very unique situation. This is an area in between 2 points. We refer that to a saddle. And I'm using my dragonfly to actually stay on top of the rocks. Now, if you look here, you'll see this nice rock formation. It actually comes up to about 7 feet. Now, it's important that it's not just a flat rock. What you want is this kind of configuration where it's boulders, just like we're showing here on screen. You see the boulders that are coming up on the right and on the left? Those are areas that the walleye will come right up onto out of about 10 or 15 feet of water and look for things like crayfish, leeches, and minnows. So I'm constantly working the electric to keep myself in between these 2 points, but also I want to look at my sonar. This is awesome, man. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. You know, when you're fishing minnows like this on a jig, you don't have to really set the hook hard. You've seen JR doing it. You want just a smooth pull up. because you don't want to pull the minnow and jig out of its mouth. If you look here, see how the hook is right through the upper snout? So that means that the jig was on the bottom and he came from up down.
We have another one, Italo.
JR, you're a fish producing machine. You know what? They're all good size. Isn't this amazing? Nice, healthy walleye.
It's a nice eater, eh?
Oh,
Italo?
yeah, beautiful.
We'll release this one.
Yeah. You know what, JR, every time we've lowered it down, we've got a fish on. Now, we've got my minnows all chewed up. I'm going to throw that one in, and I'm going to put another one on. This is a bigger minnow. You know, we've got some weather moving in again. I can feel that wind starting, but I'm glad that we're still catching one fish after the other. Now, we got to tell the viewers that we definitely had a cold front today. So yesterday we had weather that was like around 80. Nice back. I like the way you put your back into that one. And today we woke up and it was like 50 degrees with rain. Good job.
It's a little bit more than an eater. I guess it's not bad, Italo, but we have another one. You as
yeah,
well?
Well, you're getting the bigger one. I'm getting the smaller ones. It's like one after the other. I mean, this is like becoming routine now, just getting one fish after the other. And good size. Again, that's an eater. Mine was a little small. You know, it's so nice. This is my first time up here at Ritchie's end of trail. And the fishing is amazing. We had rain this morning, so we couldn't get out. And we followed Brian this afternoon to a few spots that he likes to fish. Every spot that we stopped at, we've caught fish. We've caught him on crankbaits, we've caught him on soft plastics, we've caught him on minnows, we've caught walleye, we've caught northerns. I mean, we've caught so many fish, all different sizes, which just tells you it's such a healthy fishery. Everything from this size small to nice fish like that one that JR has. So if you want a wilderness adventure where you can drive and trailer your boat to, or if you don't have a boat, you can rent a boat here. This lake has so many places to fish. It's huge, and we've only fished like 3 or 4 spots, and we have caught fish everywhere. It's ideal for the family, or even if you want to bring your buddies up and just have a great time and have fresh fish every day.
Canadian Sport Fishing has been brought to you in part by Rapala, premium fishing gear crafted from experience. Yamaha, conquer outdoors. Dickies, quality workwear since 1922. Northeastern Ontario, undeniably big, unbelievably close.
You got to admire at the back of the boat. Hi, River. You're cute.
Maybe an eater here, Italo.
Okay. Hey, we can use one.
All right, let's see what we have here.
Good one. Oh, did he ever eat it? I don't think you're going to lose them.
No, he was well hooked.
Yep, no, he's perfect eating size. In the live well, he can keep the other one's company. Oh, good one. I love to see those white spots on the tail when you're fighting them. Who needs a net, right?